An ancient creature lived in a sky of constant stars. The entity created a solid world out of stardust. The world was empty, lifeless, so with a sweep of the entity's tail, it sent down a shower of its favored stars to the world. Each of these stars came crashing down with creation, all the elements merging together to create life, and with them, the first creatures were born. The Fieri, harnessing the gifts of nature they spring from. The Fieri fell from harsh storms, raised out of the embers of fire, emerged from crashing waves, and slipped out of blooming flowers. These creatures adorned the 8 elements of fire, water, earth, wind, ice, lightning, intellect, and healing. The entity in the stars reached the new creatures and spoke to them, directing them to build the new world. The 8 Fieri proceeded to bring life into the world, balancing their elements. Fire brought light and warmth, while water brought life and soothing. Earth created high mountains and islands to explore, complete with the cleansing wind that urged instinct onward. Ice brought in the beauty of cold white and blue, and lightning broke the sky above to guide rain and energy. Intellect sought out inner spirits from both the living Fieri and the elements they possessed, while healing continued to breathe nurturing life into the new world. When the world was complete, the entity created several more creatures to live among the land. These creatures delved right into their new home, driven only by the instinct given to them. For the first few years, the Fieri acted as guardians for these creatures, maintaining them until time had passed. The Fieri hid away in their new world, secretly watching over it, keeping it balanced for the new creatures. From there, the 8 Fieri brought up 2 of each element. They taught the new, young Fieri how to thrive and protect the world in their own secret traditions. As their successors grew, the 8 wilted. And at last, the 5th season, Konalun, arrived for the 5th time since the world's creation. The nights were long and dark, illuminated only by the moons. At the season's peak came the pure nights, where daylight vanished for the duration of 3 days. The 8 Fieri all heard a light whispering, felt a tug at their hearts. Without saying a word even to each other, they followed it. The Fieri were led to a hidden tunnel revealed only by twinkling fireflies. They went through, and as they exited, the 8 Fieri found themselves on a stretch of land taller than the highest mountain. The flowers had a pale glow around their petals, and the roots soaked water from a small pond that looked like a piece of the starry sky. Light stars dappled across every inch of the land, twinkling in various colors. From their perch they could see all of Herra and all its inhabitants, a place where land touched the sky, a sacred place only to be walked by the sacred creatures. It was there, the Fieri understood, they would leave their world. The stars around them banded together, creating a pathway of light leading upwards. One by one, the 8 Fieri stepped onto the starlight and followed it high into the sky. Each step brought a flash of shimmering, colorful lights that stretched and danced across the sky, a trail for the spirits to walk. The spirit trail was the last gift left behind by the creatures that brought life into the world. The 8 stars returned to Kala's endless sky, glowing brighter than ever before. Kala took a string of light and connected the stars, drawing out a story for those in its world. And there, the first constellation was shown to the world of Herra, the starry symbols showing the first 8 Fieri watching over their world. From that night on, Kala continued to draw constellations as every story was told in the past, ensuring the history of Herra would never be forgotten, from its beginning throughout its eternal life.